You will be amazed to know this girl who was shy of public speaking rose to become the highest-paid actress in Hollywood. In this video, we will reveal the rare photos and untold life stories of Hollywood legend Julia Roberts. On October 28, 1967, in a quiet little town called Smyrna in Georgia, a girl named Julia was born. As the youngest of 3 siblings, Julia was a spirited little soul who brought sunshine and laughter wherever she went. Her parents Betty Lowe and Walter Roberts were both actors. They even met each other in a theatrical performance for the Army. However, before Julia was born, they had stopped appearing in films. Betty became an acting coach while Walter opened an actor's workshop. Things grew sour between the couple, and in 1971, Betty filed for a divorce. But did that bring peace to her and her family? Not really. After divorce, Julia's mother got married to Michael Motes the following year. According to Julia, her new stepfather was lazy, unemployed, and physically abusive. Again, her mother filed a divorce against him on the grounds of cruelty, and she confessed in an interview that marrying him was the biggest mistake of her life. Little Julia was afraid of public speaking. The thought of standing in front of her classmates and delivering a speech or a presentation would make her heart race and her hands tremble. But how did Julia overcome her fears of public speaking and become a Hollywood legend? She found solace in the world of imagination, escaping in her favorite books and acting out of scenes with her sibling and friends. Over time, she recognized the power of her voice and learned to channel her charisma and charm into her performances. As a teenager, Julia felt compelled to pursue her dreams. So, with a suitcase filled with dreams and a heart full of determination, she left her quiet hometown and headed to New York. Eager to refine her skills, she enrolled in the prestigious Actors Studio, marking the beginning of her remarkable journey as an actress. The young actress had her television debut as a juvenile crime victim in the first season of Crime Story, and her first film appearance was the 1988 dramedy Satisfaction. She started getting noticed after her part in Mystic Pizza, which earned her an Academy Award nomination and her very first Golden Globe Award. And it will keep getting better. In 1990, she was cast as a hooker in the romantic comedy Pretty Woman. The film was a massive success, grossing over $463.4 million worldwide. Her success streak continued, and by the early 2000s, she became the first actress to be paid $20 million for a film. Erin Brockovich did not only make her one of the richest actresses, but also earned her an Academy Award for Best Actress of the Year. The money was good, but Julia flattered herself when she believed that money would make all her problems go away. While it was not so uncommon that actresses during her time had to endure a lot of ill treatment from directors, Julia narrates an experience with a mean director that had her crying after movie shoots. She just had the record-breaking feature with Mystic Pizza, and for her next movie, director Herbert Ross would have her in the 1989 romantic comedy Steel Magnolias, and that was the beginning of misery. Ross took it out on everybody, but Shirley MacLaine protested he was particularly mean to Julia, even to the point of making fun of her looks. He told her that he hated her beauty marks, telling her to cut off her warts and moles. Julia had a terrible childhood. She was forced to grow up without a lot of parental love and attention, so the director's words hit hard where it hurt. But what about Julia's love life? You won't believe the roller coaster of relationships she's been through. Julia's first love was with a married actor, Kiefer Sutherland. They met for the first time while filming Flatliners in 1990, and it was an instant connection. But there was one big problem they had overlooked from the beginning. Kiefer had a wife, but the actor, thinking he had found something much better, divorced his wife to be with his girlfriend. And she broke his heart. But who would blame her? After Kiefer's divorce, the two lovebirds wanted to move things up really quickly, so in a matter of weeks, he popped the big question. Roberts accepted, and a date for the wedding was fixed. But Sutherland just had to ruin everything, and Julia would spend weeks in the hospital because of his infidelity. Kiefer had a long history of alcoholism, but he promised Julia that he had changed. But he lied. She only found out when the addiction got much worse, and it was too late now. Kiefer had already found a new hobby to match the old. Julia found out that he had shared a hotel room with a stripper named Raven, and this was the beginning of their relationship troubles. But somehow they managed to patch things up as they focused on their wedding. But Raven wouldn't let it rest. She sold her stories to the press, and in one of her many interviews, she confessed that Heather would always rant to her about how ugly and condescending Julia's personality was. Of course, Sutherland was quick to dismiss the allegations, but the damage had already been done. Roberts was admitted to a hospital, and she spent 5 long days in the hospital bed. She claimed it was a flu. Well, it's either that, or she had way too much madness happening in her life and needed some rest. Anyways, somehow they still continued with the wedding plans, and by now, it was just a few days away. The venue was set, 150 guests were expected, and Julia's $8,000 wedding gown was ready. But exactly 3 days to the wedding day, the actress called it off and boarded a plane to Ireland. And she had company. Julia was crying on the shoulders of another actor now, Jason Patric, who happened to be Sutherland's close friend. Julia's fame spread far and wide not just because of her acting prowess, but also for her dramatic love life. Things with Jason wouldn't last, and by 1992 she was dating another man, American singer Lyle Lovett. They dated just 3 weeks before getting romantically tired. They divorced after 2 years on the grounds of irresolvable differences. Julia was also involved with Friends star Chandler Bing. They dated for a year before going their separate ways. She found love again with Benjamin Bratt, but they separated after 2 years. And her next relationship was even more dramatic. Roberts met cinematographer Danny Meter while she was still with Bratt, and he might just be that guy Bratt was going on about. But even more interesting, Meter at the time was with a wife, and when the news of their secret romance got out, Roberts was tagged by the media as a husband snatcher. But she came up with a crazy proposal for Meter's wife. She reportedly offered her $10,000 if she would agree to divorce from Meter. Did she accept it? Well, the divorce happened, but Meter's wife sought revenge. She accepted interviews where she rained insults on the actress, calling her a husband snatcher. But her words meant nothing to an actress in love. She got matching tattoos with her new boyfriend, and by 2002, they became husband and wife. 2004 came, and they welcomed their set of twins. They had another child in 2007 and have been together ever since. But what about her professional relationships? Were they as tumultuous as her love life? One thing Julia can't stand in her life is Nick Nolte. This might just be one of Hollywood's most enduring feuds. Nick did not like Julia from the first time they met, and this was when they started together in the 1994 film I Love Trouble. He said that Julia was not a nice person, and the actress reacted by saying that he was completely disgusting. They hated each other so much that they acted alongside stand-ins because they couldn't look at their faces. And Julia is still keeping this grudge to date, and Nick couldn't care less. In an interview, the 81-year-old actor revealed that he had buried the hatchet a long time ago and suggested that some things are better left as they are. But there was more to Julia than just her feuds and relationship. Did you know she had a strong connection to activism? Roberts, in an interview, revealed that on the day that she was born, Martin Luther King Jr., who was a family friend, covered her hospital bills. And it was as if this sparked up the desire to fight for people's rights. She stood up for a black friend who was maltreated by a waitress because of his race, and though that didn't go so well, she stayed unresolved. She's been an advocate for various humanitarian causes, including her work with UNICEF and her support for environmental and social justice issues. She has also used her fame and influence to raise awareness and funds for these causes, making a lasting impact on the lives of those in need. Julia Roberts, now 55 years old, still maintains her alluring personality and, of course, charming smile. She lives with her family in her $9.5 million mansion in Malibu. Julia has an estimated net worth of $250 million. If you like this video on Julia Roberts, please watch our other videos on our channel about beautiful actresses of yesteryear.